What's more boring than an episode of Drake's Iceman? An interview about it.
Drake has finally explained why his Iceman rollout has been on stream. In an extremely rare interview conducted by my GOAT, Eric Skelton, Drake and his business partner Matt Babel broke down why he wanted to do his Iceman rollout on stream. He told Complex it's because he's, quote, been dying to act and had been dying for a challenge. He described the rap game right now as, quote, extremely calm seas, and said that live stream rollout sounded like the, quote, perfect mix of risk and reward for him. He also said that he studied IRL streams compared to bedroom cam streams and leaned more towards IRL because of how unpredictable they could be. Quote, I think I'm always capable of recognizing when things are shifting and not being weirdly affected by it, not being jealous, not being thirsty, just finding how I can shine light or coexist or make it a part of our ecosystem, he told Complex. The result was his theatrical series of IRL Iceman streams. Drake said the funniest moment from all the streams so far was when he was heckled in episode 1 while driving to Toronto in his Iceman truck. The heckler piped down real quick after Drake responded to him. As for what's up with the Pinocchio references and all of the Easter eggs scattered throughout the episodes, Drake says he was inspired by the intrigue murder documentaries bring. Quote, I watch murder docs a lot, and as you get invested, you start to try and solve things before you even know where it's headed or what the answers are, Drake says. It's crazy to see people make 2-3 hour videos on their thoughts and building conspiracies. It's interactive content, and that adds such a desirable element, more so than a music video with cars and tings. Babel also added that episode 2 and 3 were done on the fly because they were shot while Drake was on the road in Manchester and Milan. They planned the streams in advance, but they went live not knowing what would happen and had to adjust to things in real time, like the signal strength waning in certain locations. It's been challenging, but Babel said that it's been worth it because they've found, quote, a new way to merge music, performance, and storytelling in real time. And as for how the curtains will close, Drake says, quote, the finale will be our best work. We'll just have to wait and see when that finale comes. For Complex, I'm Jordan Rhodes. Make sure to shop at Complex for exclusive vinyl and merch. All right, peace.
What's up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapps to CLBMG. Join the membership. And are you buying that merch down below? Gang, listen. I'm going to say this early. Any Drake fans in the building, you might want to skip this video. I'm trying to be better, but I'm not there yet, gang. I'm trying. I'm going to say this again. Drake fans, I don't think you want to watch this one. I'm just going to be honest. Tap out. And if you feel you need to vindicate yourself, hit the thumbs down. But other than that, you might want to check out. I'm just going to be honest. But gang, listen. I don't know what's more boring. An interview about Iceman or Iceman itself. Drake shot a whole lot of shots in this thing and they all hit all of his own fans, gang. They don't even know how ridiculous this is. Let me start by saying this. I don't care who does a text, email interview. I just personally, I don't want to read it or hear it. I don't care if any artist does an interview via text, especially in this climate when you just went through one of the worst battles of your career. You've had a year and a half where you have lawsuits and you have all kind of accusations flying around about ghostwriters and bots, and you come back in 2025 at the end, at no less the fourth quarter, and you do an interview via text with Complex, and Complex eats it up. They love it. They got this thing everywhere, gang. At the risk of my own, monetization, I'm going to put the interview, the clip from Complex News at the beginning. If you tap in and you don't see that video footage breaking down the interview with Eric Skelton and this, that, and the third, then that means I had to remove it for monetary reasons, right? But I'm going to put it there where they break down the interview that Drake gave. He gave a email text interview about Iceman. This is showing you, gang, this guy, let's just be honest. Like I said, Drake fans, check out. Because I thought this through, gang. I was like, Charles, you got to be cool, man. Like, listen, man, you don't got to rip the boy apart every time you talk about him. And I'm trying to be better, gang. I'm trying to relax and be better to people, places, and things. But gang, as I try to be better and give him grace, I look at the whole picture and I just cannot do it, gang. First and foremost, you do an interview, it's allegedly via email and text. You didn't even sit down with the guy. You didn't have him come to the compound, the embassy, and be able to actually hear your voice and take notes. This is the ultimate control. This guy has manipulated Complex like no other. You can't ask him nothing because he's not going to write nothing outside of what he put. This ain't even an interview, guys. Let's just be honest. This is a publicity stunt. This is a this thing is six. I printed it out. It's 6 pages long. Gang, it's 6 pages long of nonsense, of glazing this guy's trash videos. If you read this nonsense, you would think these videos were the greatest thing since they started slicing bread, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. This is terrible. They are glazing this guy from the front to the back, and I was gonna read it. I might read you 1 page. But this is manipulation of the media, gang. This is a press release. I'm just gonna be honest. Complex going. I risk offending my political connects. I risk future endeavors with Complex News. But what I'm gonna say, this is absolutely ridiculous. This guy manipulated this whole 6 pages of nonsense. It's all good. It's all great. It's all amazing, and Drake is the greatest thing to ever touch a microphone, to ever touch a acting stage. Everything in this guy does no wrong. Nothing, no mention of the battle, no mention of Kendrick, no mention of the lawsuit, which is just how he wanted it, right? He woke up one day, he said, you know what, I want to talk about why I did those awful streams and everybody's so critical of. If I put out a 6-page releaser, right? And they're saying it's via text, gang. I'm gonna go a step further. And so I'm not taking nothing away from the interviewer who's a legend over there at Complex. I'm gonna go a step further. I think Drake wrote this whole shit and gave it to homeboy. I'm just going to be honest. Now, I could be wrong. I could be dead ass off the mark. But this shit is well crafted, gang. Go and watch this. Go read this thing if you want to, right? I'm gonna read the first page, but there's so much here. And this stuff, it sounds like Drake is the greatest thing that ever happened to all social media and otherwise. Sound like he's a great actor, a great entrepreneur, a great director, a great film caster. Like all of this stuff, if you read this, it's insane. Just gonna be honest. Now, the simple fact of the matter is, I feel like he played with Complex, but Complex has no choice, right? There are some people, right? There are some people who would be like, the interview was via, quote unquote, via text. We don't know how much text and how much was email. I think the whole thing was email. I think they text him to make to finalize the deal, to finalize what was going to be this, that, and the third, and then he sent the whole email. I need you to understand, I don't know where the questions are, because it just goes from talking about what happened in the videos, and then it shows random quotes, long-ass quotes that he wrote. I don't know why they're calling this an interview. This is literally a press release. I'm just going to be honest about the most boring, contrived nonsense that modern hip hop has ever seen. And they're making this stuff like he just recreated the wheel, right? He made jets that can fly twice as fast, twice as high. Like he just made the Wonder Woman Invisijet. And that shit can go into outer space and come back down and land on a dime. He ain't do all that. He just made some really crappy three crappy episodes of nonsense. I'm gonna give you the cliff notes that they themselves said about this interview, right? Interview is god awful boring. You got to be the most deranged Drake fan to sit there and read 6 pages of this nonsense. I'm just gonna be honest. I told you I'm gonna try to be fair, and I'm trying to be fair. But I'm just gonna put it like this: even if this was Kendrick, I wouldn't read all this shit. There's nobody on earth that will make me read all this shit. 6 pages? You could have just did an interview. 6 pages? I don't care who it is. I'm not reading all this. So it said that he was dying to act, dying for a challenge. The current music scene is extremely calm seas, wants risk and reward. He's tired of the regular rollouts. He's throwing shots, gang. He's trying to make it like I did a rollout that's much more innovative. I'm more creative than those two brothers that you see with the matching outfits on all over at the Donna Karen or whatever, Vera Wang shows, wherever they're at, wearing whatever they're wearing. I'm more creative than them. Right? Everybody was talking this word rollout. The word rollout became synonymous with like the clips. So now he doesn't want to do the basic rollout. He's been doing it so long, he's sick of them, right? He wanted to do an innovative, unpredictable, a risky and cinematic rollout instead of the redundancy of the formulaic approach of traditional rollouts. He confirmed that the Iceman finale would be his best work. So you're going to do a finale that's going to be better than 1, 2, and 3, those snooze fests that Cashapp almost poked his own eyeballs out because he had to watch them. They're going to be better than those, right? This dude Drake is in this thing. He basically was saying people don't get him. He basically said in here that he's surprised that these people are making these hours-long what's the dirt, and these other people making these hours-long breakdowns of these videos because literally he's hinting that these shits, he just did them. He didn't have no whole lot of this, that, and the third. They asked him about Pinocchio. He was like, I just wanted to do it, right? If you read the shit, that like there is no context for anything. He doesn't explain anything. It sounds like a guy that just had a bunch of people do a bunch of stuff and he just made it up on the fly. He said it was episode 3, for instance, featured 100 crew members, 20 live camera feeds, and 10 locations prepared in just 8 days. How deep you think that shit was when they did all of that in just 8 days, and you think it's mad deep? What's the dirt sat there and was like, yo, the apple represents the way that his heart, like just making up nonsense. Just looking at the Pinocchios. He really didn't explain nothing. He said he was shocked by these people that did explain shit. He's throwing it back to how thoughtful you made this shit seem. I'm just going to be honest. Like I said, Drake fans, leave the room. I'm trying to be fair and balanced, but this, I can't believe that this guy played complex like this. He did a so-called interview that he wrote the whole shit himself and then handed it over. And these people are going online like they just got the holy grail all over Twitter, all over Facebook, everywhere. Drake does an interview. The first interview, this ain't no interview, homeboy. This ain't no interview. This is a well-contrived media effery. Just gonna be honest. Let me read a little bit so you can get a little taste of what's going on this Drake, the Drake live stream explanation, the breakdown. He breaks it down for me and you, all right? Drake breaks down his Iceman live stream. Quote, I've been dying for a challenge. In a rare interview, Drake and Dream Crew's Matt Babel tell Complex how and why they're putting together a series of Iceman live streams. Drake is bored by traditional album rollouts. Nearly 2 decades into his career, he's done it all. Long, elaborate rollouts with multiple singles and videos. That's how you do it. I don't know what's wrong with that. That's literally how you do it. If you would have did something better, then we could say, oh, Drake is onto something. This ain't better. This ain't better. You haven't done really much of anything. You released probably, 2 singles out of this whole 3 episodes? I think we got 2 records. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 3. I don't know. Magazine cover promo, release night, sit-downs with Zane Lowe, surprise drops. By now, it's all starting to feel a little stale to him. Quote, I was asked by a creative partner what I love and hate about rolling out an album. Drake tells Complex over email. I expressed that I love the opportunity for a clean slate of thoughts and excitement and messaging when it comes to the music. What I hate is the redundancy of this formulaic approach that's ingrained in our brains from early label days. Single video, album cover, post, etc. You could have done it, but you didn't do it better, right? Let's just be clear. This could have been done better. It feels like you rushed it and they still didn't get no payoff. You've done 3 episodes. These people got 0 payoff. They got What Did I Miss and which one? They don't even know when the album's dropping or what's going to be on it. You haven't accomplished much of nothing. Both of those singles are old already. You're talking about a finale to lead to what? The fans don't have a drop date. They don't know if you're going to do it or not. Let's just be honest. No fan right now can say what's going to happen with this album. And this is a rollout? A rollout is you give them a date and then you lead up to that date. You don't go all these months without telling them what's going on and keep doing these random videos that's putting them to sleep. This is a awful rollout. But Complex, let them run with this. Let me continue. So when it came time for the rollout of his 9th studio album, Iceman, he wanted to try something new, a series of theatrical live streams on YouTube where he could debut new singles and build up a storyline about around the project before it drops. I have been dying to act and I have been dying for a challenge. The game is extremely calm seas right now. Nobody is rocking any boat in the water. And so once we discussed the live stream rollout, it just sounded like the perfect mix of risk and reward for me. So nobody is doing nothing. He didn't see the clips roll out. I guess that's nobody, right? It's a lot of people that's dropping albums. There's a lot of good music coming out. But I guess to him, nobody, right? Half of these MFs that he's probably talking about is scared to drop because they don't know what's going to be received to the public, because it's so even though they don't want to admit it, it has been a shift. You got to actually say some stuff now. Right now, in this game right now, GNX, the Clips, and a couple other releases have made it where you can't mumble your way through this right now. So a lot of these people you're talking about that ain't doing nothing, they scared. Look what just happened to Offset. Had the lowest sales of his career. I think he sold like 8,000 units. You got to come correct right now, gang. That's what's going on. Drake has dropped 30 plus songs. Maybe one has stuck, 2 tops. So it ain't that the nobody's rocking any boat. You're not rocking any boat. None of those cronies all that run to Atlanta, all that shit is right now, they quiet it all down. You saw what happened to Young Thug, right? He was highly surprised that nobody cared. I'm just going to be honest, because the music has shifted. Real rap is back. Rap, like I just said in the video last night, I said rap is cleansing itself, it's killing itself to shake all off the bullshit. So a lot of these labels are scrambling right now to find some rappers with some substance. They're trying to find the next Kendrick, right? Don't realize he ain't no next Kendrick. You need to find something creative. We're getting back to, you got to be original and creative. All this biting and trying to sound like everybody else, that's out. So now we got people like this guy, they don't know what to do. He's wandering around in an ice truck, driving by himself, listening to his own beats, dancing in the freezer by himself. So now they don't know what to do anymore. He's testing the waters, right? This is a big test. He's putting out all these music on these live streams to see what hits. Even on the third one, even his own fans were kind of skeptical. They're like, we don't know where this is going. You think this is a good rollout? Your fans don't know when this thing is dropping or how it's dropping. They don't even know if they want what's dropping. Half of them saying, I hope this and that ain't on there. Right? You know, a lot of Drake fans don't want which one to be on there. Okay? So there's a lot going on, and it probably won't. Half the stuff that he's putting in these live streams are not going to make the cutting room floor. They're going to end up on the cutting room floor. So what's so special about this? This is a whole stunt to see what will and what won't work. So don't make it like you're doing some avant-garde artsy fartsy. You're doing some damn John Landon shit, right? No, right? This is some other shit. It's not really that good. You had 100 people running around out there to get one crappy product. I'm just gonna be honest. Let me continue. In 2025, if you want to do something impactful on the internet, live streaming is a good place to start. Hundreds of thousands of people simultaneously tune into the most popular Twitch streams for hours or even days at a time, and streamers have become the most powerful new influencers in youth culture, especially within hip-hop. That's the streamers that already have built-in audiences. You're not a streamer. You're a recording star that has a really big catalog. You have a really big fan base that want to hear you rap. So when you're trying to do in real life streaming, what you're trying to do, you're not doing it right, because no one does in real life streaming where they're silent for 20 minutes. No one does that unless they're asleep, right? Were you asleep when you were walking down the streets? What's the 2 cities he was in? Were you asleep? No, you were walking down the city with a book bag on, with whatever was supposed to be in the book bag. Okay? So no, you're not capturing what streamers are doing. And Complex has no rebuttal. They can't ask him nothing because they never were talking to him in the first place. He was writing this shit and sent it to him. Take that. right? What's that movie, Teen Witch? Now top that, right? So end of the day, I think this is all contrived, and Drake is making this sound way better than it is in real life. IRL. Let me continue. Drake embraces live streaming. A person in the coat stands in the orate room facing two figures dressed as Pinocchio with wooden paneling and a high ceiling. It only made sense for Drake to get involved. Since the beginning of his career, he's been attuned to each new evolution of the internet. He turned the Instagram caption into an art form, figured out how to use memes and rollouts, and mastered the art of the midnight SoundCloud drop. Just to name a few examples, he was ahead of the curve when it came to live streaming too. In 2018, he broke Twitch records by playing Fortnite with Ninja. In more recent years, he's gone live with streamers like Aiden Ross and XQC while occasionally hosting gambling streams of his own. Gang, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to ask you a question. Does this sound like Drake wrote this or the author wrote this? And maybe the author wrote this and he's very fond of Drake. But I don't know if this was supposed to be a glaze fest, and I hate using that word in regards to someone doing their job, right? He's doing his job at a very high level, and I get it. You're not supposed to offend, or you're not supposed to try to contradict the person in real time. But at the end of the day, this is extremely flattering to Drake. Now, a real interview is going to have some realness to it. Now, with all these, I scanned through all these pages. I don't see nothing that challenges anything. This sounds like a gigantic press release for someone that's trying to get a job somewhere. Like, yeah, I did a lot of cool stuff. This thing is almost, this is embarrassing. This is an affront to me and you and to our intelligence that you got an interview from Drake. This is not an interview from Drake. Drake wrote some really flattering stuff, and you guys printed it. And you're slapping interview all over it. The only thing I see is this guy describing all 3 episodes throughout the whole 6 pages, how cool and dazzling and how difficult they were for Drake to make, and how innovative Drake was to make them. I don't know if anybody else is gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this. This shit is trash. I'm just gonna be honest. Now, you know what? No, I'm gonna take that back. It's not trash. It's well orchestrated shifting of the narrative, because most people were saying that Iceman stuff was going to Google and no one was feeling. Well, most people weren't feeling it, right? I told you my brother-in-law said he loved it, but other than that, I don't see many people saying that Iceman 1, 2, and 3 was to die for, right? They probably saying they should have just killed it, right? So, end of the day, what we're doing is we're seeing this being passed off as an interview. An interview is usually going to have questions and pushback about other things going on in that person's life. And I'm looking through here, I don't see nothing about Drake's normal life. The whole thing, if you're going to say this is about Iceman, that's fine. Most artists are afforded that can just come out. And they've been in the game so long, they've talked about so much stuff, da-da-da. Drake in the last year and a half has so many questions that he needs to be asked. You cannot just come out and say, I interviewed Drake, and the whole thing is a glaze fest about one of the worst streams we've ever seen. It's embarrassing to slap your name on some shit like this as a journalist. I'm just going to be honest. And I said, I might offend my connects and my future endeavors over at Complex. Probably won't be giving me a call. Probably get a copyright strike for this video once they see that shit in there. But at the end of the day, I'm just calling it like it is. We're in a world of phoniness, gang. This is bullshit. This is not media right here. The source would never, like back in the day, XXL would never print this shit. Never. Not an artist this controversial. Not an artist with this much stuff going on. No, they wouldn't. This is fluff. This is a fluff piece. I'm just going to be honest. I tried, gang. I was like, Challz, give him credit. They did an interview with this guy. He just give him some grace, right? You wouldn't do this if this was Kendrick. If this was Kendrick, I wouldn't even read it. I wouldn't even talk about it, because I'm like, why are you doing this? It makes no sense, K-Dot. It makes no sense. End of the day, you're going to say, well, Challz, K-Dot do this, that, and the third, da-da-da. But K-Dot has spoken on shit, right? He sat down with Ebro and who was it? What's her name? Joe Budden, Akademiks, Nadeska. He sat down with Ebro and Nadeska for the Super Bowl, and he answered their questions. He didn't mail it in, right? So what I'm saying is this. At a time like this, when we just saw you get in the bed with Bobby Althoff and dodge everything that had any substance whatsoever, right? You even played with her about the abs and this, that, and the third.
People think you got a procedure done.
Really?
You know.
Procedure?
Yeah, an ab one.
Really?
Yeah, did you do that?
No.
We need more. If you're going to be a fan and you're going to play in these spaces, you're going to do this thing right. Don't send us no interview that you typed up yourself and sent to these guys about a series of videos and live streams that most people don't even want to see. Most of us could care less about that shit. We thought it was dead. We thought you had stopped it. We were hoping there was no finale because then we got to cover it. We got to skip through it all over again. Keep that shit. I keep telling you, burn that hard drive. Everything you was going to release, either release it all tonight, midnight, bang, 35 songs, put the shit all up like Chris Brown do. Or just burn the hard drive. Stop making people wait for this shit. You keep teasing and acting like you got this, that, and the third. Everything that come out sound fuddy-duddy like a nutty buddy. This shit sounds weird, and we're not jacking it. I'm just going to be honest. The only one that's jacking it is these hardcore fans, these daggone transients on fucking on Twitter that have nothing to do all day. Is 18 hours. Motherfucker go eat a bowl of oodles or noodles and then go back and get about 10 minutes of sleep, and they right back on Twitter talking Drake. I'm like, how do they do this? It's mind-boggling, gang. I gotta get off Twitter just because it comes to my timeline all day. Drake all day, thinking of shit to say about Drake. I can't even process that shit. It don't even make, like, my brain starts to seize up, think about how long they sit there and think about Drake to make these posts, right? It ain't AI somebody every day. Drake did this, Drake did that, Drake, all day. Those are the only people who want to see this nonsense. Drake's so scared to drop this shit, he knows that this shit gonna do 150, right? He knows first week sales gonna be 175, 225 if motherfuckers is curious, right? Other than that, womp. Right? That shit gonna be like every Marvel movie that has dropped in the last couple years. Womp. So end of the day, man, listen. To call this an interview is disrespectful to our intelligence. Let's just be honest. And to sit here and try to pander this off as great work is even more disrespectful. So what I'm gonna do is just leave it at this. This was a piece of propaganda for Drake and company, and kudos, it worked. But I don't think it's going to do what you think it's going to do. I don't think it's going to change hearts and minds. And you basically told these MFers that most of this shit in there, it was just shit you just decided to do. It had no undertones. It had no deeper meaning. If you really understand what he's saying in this thing. Right? So all that work you did, what's the dirt? Drake sat there amazed, just like you. He sat there and he watched it like, wow, that really means that? Drake didn't know what that shit meant either. You did that whole video, you gave sense to nonsense. Right? Man, I'm out of here, man. CLBMG, man. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show 9:15 on all my social media platforms. All right, tap in. And all you buying that merch is right down below. Salute to the people that's been buying it. It has increased, and I appreciate the support. If you want to send me a picture, I will post it of you wearing the merchandise. Send it to The What Show. That's with it, THA. If you get The What Show or I'm Just Being Honest merch, either one, send it to thewhatshow@gmail.com. I will post you on all social media platforms. There's a lot of people buying, but people ain't sending their pictures. Just tap in and send me your pictures, all right? I'm out here, gang. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6-man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.